So what I'm going to say is for the record, because this is a bit unusual tonight. As I said, we had 4 candidates that are running for office for the town of Loxahatchee Groves for the March 2021 election. 2 candidates did not choose to be here tonight. 2 candidates are here tonight. However, the 2 that are here have expressed their concern that questions should be distributed to all candidates evenly. So any questions that were turned in, we have not had, quite frankly, we've only had 1 or 2 that came in. I'll type up a list and distribute those questions to all candidates so they may answer them at their meet and greets, their individual meet and greets. What we will do is, because we had it set up to be recorded, we will give each candidate tonight the opportunity to speak, if they'd like, for 5 to 10 minutes each, introduce themselves and say anything they feel is relevant. Again, the concern here is we have several councilmen in the room. This event was advertised properly for the Loxahatchee Groves Landowners Association, so we are trying to avoid all the sunshine issues that come along with having so many councilmen in the room. Ladies, would you like to come up, please? And you... I'm sorry, what did I say? I apologize. Did I say councilman? I meant councilperson. I'm sorry, councilpersons. I just can't win no matter what I do. I just can't get it right. Okay, so, well, I'd like them to introduce themselves, Marge. I would like them to introduce themselves. Let's let them do this. So, I think let's do it by seat. Your seat 1. What? Oh, okay, thank you. I leave it to you 2 to go ahead, take over, and we'll time it. We'll give you each 5 minutes, and then if you feel there's anything else, we can rotate through. Thank you.
I'm good? Oh, wow. Okay. I'm going to take my mask off because when I come to church here, Ruffin speaks with his mask off, so there's cooties already in the room. So for those who have not met me, my name is Lisa L. Ramey. I have been living in Loxahatchee Grove since, gosh, so long. 2000 is when I purchased my property. So I've prepared a little statement. In late 2018, I was asked to put my name in for the appointment to a vacated council seat. When I was not selected to fill that seat, I was then asked by one resident to run for town council. I tentatively said yes and reached out to my friends. Most of them encouraged me. Some questioned my sanity and still do. I chose to run, and I was blessed to have the support of long-standing community figures, and specifically the support of one town leader we sadly lost suddenly last year. I am fortunate to have served my first year as a council member and this year as your mayor. Over the last 2 years, council has accomplished multiple goals in the areas of town management, improved administrative access for permitting and business tax receipts, canals, roads, trails, planning, and community relations. As a council member, I worked to rebuild dirt roads, retire the OGM debt, and obtain additional equipment for public works. Under this council, residents have experienced a more professional and inviting town hall and staff. We reinstituted code enforcement that was not punitive or selective. The administration of purchasing, permitting, business tax receipts, vendor contracts, and the addition of more affordable resources for the town have all improved in my 2 years on council. We have increased canal maintenance with the repair and upgrade to the pump at D Road, and have contracted services for vegetation removal without harming or destabilizing the canal banks. We have sought and successfully achieved outside funding options totaling over $3 million with the receipt of the TPA grants for both a roundabout, lettered road safety crossings, and a multi-use trail on Okeechobee Boulevard, as well as a CARES Act reimbursement for $40,000. We have received a DEO grant to explore land use on Okeechobee Boulevard, and now a matching grant for a Treasure Coast Regional Planning Council Mobility and Corridor Study grant to fully understand fiscal impacts of land use changes and create future designs townwide. We have seen the addition of trails in our community, and there are many options to continue adding trail mileage, culminating with a fully connected trail system in the future. This council has worked hard to keep developers accountable and to push for a true rural design and buffering of the commercial areas. We were successful in the removal of the Okeechobee Boulevard extension from Crestwood Boulevard West to Southern Boulevard from the Palm Beach County Transportation Planning Agency 5-year plan and its proposed connection west of Seminole Pratt Whitney Road between Southern and the proposed Okeechobee extension. Through the decisions of this council, we have made progress with long-term planning and dealing with entrenched, ignored, and neglected issues. We have not just continued to kick the can down the road. As your mayor, I pushed for the town manager performance review, town staff action on items which received council consensus, opened council meetings back up to the public with COVID restrictions, and pushed for a scope of work and moving forward on OGIM repairs. I have continued to push for reliability and accountability from Public Works. I have requested repeatedly the sheriff provide more traffic enforcement throughout our town, including the dirt roads. We will now have an entrance from the North Road Trail into Royal Palm Beach Preserve at its northwest corner. The successful closure of the non-permitted cut-through has seen a drastic reduction in traffic on the north side of town and will result in tremendous savings for the town in years to come. I am happy to report the town also has social media accounts to help residents understand town positions and procedures. My choice to run for re-election is one driven by the need to see the original vision of our founding documents brought to fruition. The vision that includes maintenance of the natural environment and rural character, a trail system, sustainable agriculture, reduction of traffic, and preservation of our rural community. Success of elections is not one measured by the victory of one elected official, but in the outcome of that election resulting in the success of governance reaching its stated goals. In the case of this town, the success of the incorporation efforts of 2006 laid the groundwork. As stated in the charter, it is intended that this charter and the incorporation of the Loxahatchee Groves area will serve to preserve and protect the distinctive rural characteristics of the community and to acknowledge its close ties to the agriculture and equestrian industries within the boundaries of the town of Loxahatchee Groves. That is a direct quote from our town charter. I would like your support in this upcoming election to work to develop and implement a 10-year plan to shape this unique and special community for the next 50 years. As your elected official, I pledge to and have humbly served the citizens of the town of Loxahatchee Groves and will do so again for 3 years. Thank you.
Okay, that was right at 5 minutes.
Wow.
9 seconds.
And I tried to talk slow.
Okay, Phyllis, next. And at the end, we will give the email addresses for all candidates.
Okay, can you hear me? Good? Okay, I don't need these right now. I know what I'm going to say.
Speak up a little bit more, or speak up.
Okay. Unfortunately, I had a tooth thing. My name's Phyllis Manelia. I've been a resident of Loxahatchee Groves for, well, since 1989. Why did I get involved in town politics? Pretty much not by choice. I was one of those folks that went to the podium when our meetings were at the Water District and felt that I would speak my piece and never be heard. Neither the board or the council would ever respond to anything we said. I found that unusual, but apparently I found out later that's policy. So as time went on, I started to pay more and more attention and going to the meetings and discovered if you spoke up, you ended up on the code enforcement list. So that really pissed me off. So I decided to get involved. Go to meetings, speak up from the podium, never thinking about ever joining the town council or representing my fellow neighbors. Then one day I decided there was nobody else to run. I would like to say I went to the OIG regarding some concerns I had, and the woman at the OIG said, if you don't like the way your town's run, you vote them out one at a time. Therefore, we no longer have a second government called the Water Control District Board. We vote them out one at a time. We put our folks in there, and now we have one government. The water district is now dependent on the town. So trying to find other people to run, ended up one day against Mr. Gerald, which nobody wanted to run against Mr. Gerald. So I decided, okay, it's time. I'm throwing my hat in the ring. So here I am today. I'm shooting for my second term. During my first term, I feel that the main reason I ran because I felt the past management completely disrespected our neighbors, our residents, our charter, our landowners, and they needed to go. So that has been accomplished. The off with their head thing, kind of, everybody wanted that. But in hindsight, I feel the hiring of Mr. Titcomb was probably the right thing to do, as he made the transition as best he could with the staff he had. And I feel that the town is better off financially for that. Regarding their exit, we probably wouldn't have to have paid them as much as we did, as we were instructed by the council to be careful what we said from the dais. Unfortunately, that was not heard by all, and a number came up, and that is pretty much what they asked for. That was my current opponent. So I'm here to tell you today, I'm not here to bash anybody. I'm here because I feel my job was not completed. I feel our town is not cleaned up. There is no proper maintenance in place to take care of our town, daily regiments, structured maintenance. I feel that the staff is directed to do things at the Public Works that perhaps is beyond their abilities regarding equipment and personnel. I don't feel that to reload the Public Works with hundreds of $1,000s worth of equipment is the correct thing to do. We've been looking into other ways of being financially responsible and getting the job done properly. Look back at 4 years, okay, of Public Works. Actually, I found a letter from 2012, and everything in my letter to the town crier is still true today regarding the condition of our town as far as the cleanliness, the canals, and the roads. In the past 2 years, we spent approximately $1.2 million replenishing the roads. We have been trying to get numbers that make sense to try to move forward on different products. It just seems like pavement keeps getting thrown in our face. So
Time, Phyllis, that is your 5-minute mark.
okay.
So what I'd like to do, because we said a total of 10, I mean,
I'm
we
sorry.
could probably, no, that's fine. I just want to respect, we said 5 minutes each. So what I'd like to do is, it's up to you two, if you'd like
I'd just
Phyllis
like
to
to
finish her
close.
5 minutes and go back to Lisa, but we just want to wrap it up, keep to what we said. Thank you.
Thank you. So I guess with all that, I feel like I have more to do. I would like to continue for another 3 years. I very much enjoy working with Mayor El Ramy. I feel she represents our town with dignity, and she is extremely well-spoken. And I'm looking forward to doing another 3 years for the town of Loxahatchee Groves. Thank you, Lisa.
Lisa, are you ready? Do you have anything else you'd like to add or continue?
That was my prepared statement, and if anybody would like to reach out to me, you can find me. You want me to give my email
Yes,
address?
if you two go ahead and give your email and contact info, and I will follow up and give the information for the other two candidates.
Okay, great. My cell phone is 561-662-0519, and the official campaign email is Lisa for Loxahatchee Groves at USA.com. Thank you. Lisa for FOR Loxahatchee Groves at USA. That does not stand for upstairs attic. That's for United States of America. Okay, thank you.
My phone number is private. No, it's all over. It's 561-460-8257. If you want to email me, I do keep a private email that is for town stuff, just, correspondence with residents. And it's Phyllis, and it's PHILLIS 8257 @gmail.com.
Virginia, thank you for making this happen.
Yeah.
Well, I was just the coordinator. You guys, we have a little different setup this year.
I want to thank the LGLA, and I'm a little, it's a little more fun when we have the rest of the candidates up here, and everybody has their difference of opinions.
Yeah, well, COVID is, it's its own unique
Right.
creature at this point. But yes, it's unfortunate that they weren't here. I think the residents do enjoy getting to hear everybody's position and in live time. So, but yes, thanks to the LGLA.
But we'd also, as residents, would like to thank the town council for having the 6 o'clock workshops. I know many of us can't make it, but still, it's nice to have that opportunity. So while most of you, all of you are here, I think, we'd like to thank you for that. When we can make it, or at least get our comments in, it's greatly appreciated. So the other two candidates, Dave Damaris is challenging Phyllis Manilia for seat 1. His phone number is 561-601-2944. His email address that we have here is DEMAROISDD@bellsouth.net. Marianne Miles is challenging Lisa L. Ramey for seat 3. Her phone number is 561-596-8133. Her email address is marianneloxgroves@gmail.com. That is spelt MarianneLoxgroves@gmail.com. And I would like to personally encourage everyone to speak to the candidates individually instead of listening to hearsay. It's very important. They are all making themselves available to you, and this information will allow you to reach them directly. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And thank you all that did show up here in person. Fran? 561-662-0519.
Okay, I apologize. Marge just reminded me of the most important details of the election that she took the time to write. You can register to vote beginning February 8th. Ballots by mail go out on February 8th. Register to vote by mail deadline is February 27th, and no early voting. Voting in person is at this location, Palms West Presbyterian Church, on March 9th from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. Thank you. And we'll let Marge do you have any questions about the LGLA? The candidates you will have to reach out to directly. We're not going to do any uneven, we don't want to get caught up in any uneven opportunities, so we're just trying to, you know, they've said what they have to say. Does anyone have a question for the LGLA? Yes?